All right, welcome back. We're still talking about the perception about Africa, and all of it started upon the premise that some doctors from France suggested that Africa be used as a testing site for the tuberculosis vaccine to see if it will work for COVID-19, simply because Africa is a place where they do not have masks, they do not have treatment, and they do not have protective measures. So I'm still talking to Femi Ojo. Good to have you here, still with us.
Thank you.
This perception thing that we have, it's a serious matter. I once listened to Adichie, that's Chimamanda, yes, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Okay. I once listened to her and she said something very germane, that Africa has a one single line story perspective. When people talk about Africa, they're talking poverty. When they talk about Africa, they're talking war. When they talk about Africa, they're talking extreme ignorance. When they talk about Africa, they're talking about lack of education, out of school children. They're talking about AIDS. They're talking about medical emergencies. When they talk about Africa, when they talk about female genital mutilation, they talk Africa. Yeah, that's what it is. Now we're talking about the Africa that we know. Is a totally different perspective from what people know. People do not respect us, except, like you said, you have been living amongst them and you have added value, recognized to be adding value to them. How do we change this perception about us? Okay,
it's very straight. Okay, what we do right now is, most times you see most of our leaders attending conferences. Most times you see most people going out for conferences. So what defines you in those places you meet yourself? That's the question. So how do you go about trying to add value to that sitting? That's the question. So most times you just find out that our leaders go out there to go beg. So you're not adding value. So let's talk about education she was talking about. In Nigeria, you feel like a professor knows a whole lot, and I will shock you that a professor doesn't know a whole lot. Even when a minister doesn't even know what STEM is about.
It's all about.
So that's the conversation already. So when you are conversing with the likes of people that is coming from WHO, UNICEF, and you are not even sound, it tells a whole lot on your people, because they feel that this is the best leg you can pull out there. That's the point. Why we have a whole lot of good guys out there, but we are pulling people that are mediocres out there. That is the conversation now. So what can we do to ourselves is to actually portray people out there, to push people out there that knows the right to their left. Not just people that doesn't even understand the conversation in a conference.
Unfortunately, when we tell our own stories, we don't tell those stories you're talking about.
That's true. So the disadvantage there is we actually use mediocres more. We appreciate mediocres more in Africa.
How do you mean?
Okay, what I mean is, okay, for instance, you're attending a high-profile conference, and that you know that your best leg is in the office, and you're pushing somebody that cannot even understand what the conversation is going to be like. So let's say they throw the floor to the person can't just have a good conversation of the topic. We have a whole lot of conference where you feel like, come on, who are you representing here? We've seen it ourselves. We've seen it ourselves happen. So we don't need to mention people. We've seen it ourselves happen, and it's an insult to millions of Nigerians.
All right, we're still talking about changing the perception about Africa and Africa as a testing site for this vaccine. And baffles me to understand that we do not even give the right perception about ourselves. Going by what you just said, we go out of the country for conferences, like you said. We don't put our best foot forward. We write stories about ourselves, and I discovered
we don't portray ourselves in the very good limelight.
I checked, for example, our profession, and I was looking for all of the grants. I was looking at all of the grants that are available, and I saw that there was not a single one for telling the beautiful stories of Africa. But they want to know about the war, they want to know about the female genital mutilation, they want to know about the slums in Africa. They want to know about all the terrible things happening in Africa, and that is what they want the world to know about us. Unfortunately, we apply for such grants, we get it, and those are the things that we write about ourselves. What is the responsibility of me, Tomisin, as a Nigerian, when I'm telling the Nigerian story?
Thank you. So it's very key. Now, I think we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to go back to our family. How do you carry yourself in the family? What is the level of respect you give to your children, your kids at home? What is the level of respect you give to your husband at home? That's the conversation all about. So if you can respect them, if you understand their value, you place high value on them, then the story will be a different ball game. Then if I'm writing a story about Tomisin, for instance, it's going to be massive story, because I'm going to push her out there to be the best. That is what I'm going to do. Not just that I'm trying to shade Tomisin because I feel like she's better off than me. So we need to go back to respect ourselves. We need to go back to add value to ourselves. We need to push ourselves the more. We need to know that we can add value to ourselves. So we need to believe in ourselves, number one, because we don't even trust local content here. That's just it. So a whole lot of young people are there that can actually run ventilators. Look at other countries; they are rushing on to do ventilators. And Innocent is there crying about federal government not giving him money about ventilators. Can you just do a model?
But what about Bayero University? Bayero University, and that was why I like what Bashir Ahmed said, that if Innocent Motors wants to go ahead and do ventilators, why not just do it?
Why not do it?
Bayero University is not waiting for the federal government money. Bayero University is going ahead they have already started work on putting out ventilators. That's a university in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Innocent Motors, who happens to be a privately owned company, wants the federal government to
give him money.
Please give us a sample. Let it be tested. Give us 10. Let it be tested. Let it be put side by side what is obtainable abroad, and let them say, "Oh, fantastic! It could be. This could be Nigeria's finest hour
than that of the ones abroad."
Exactly. Listening to what former governor of Lagos, Babatunde Raji Fashola, said at that CBN consultative forum, he said this period could actually be Africa's finest hour, Nigeria's finest hour, if only we look inwards. Now imagine, he cited things like the sanitizer that was on the table of one of the richest men in Nigeria at that particular consultative forum was from China.
You can imagine, when we don't actually embrace ours.
He said when the berries used to make sanitizers is on the streets of us, when the ogogoro that we need, what are we doing with our ogogoro and our brukutu? Is available. Look at that. Now we are producing sanitizers. We can't even import because people are scared of anything they import. So every sanitizer you see in Nigeria right now is produced in Nigeria. Here. People are not bothering about national thing. People are just producing sanitizers and selling. That's what it is. And people are buying en masse. The political leaders are buying and giving out to the constituency free of charge. But people are producing. That is one of the examples of finest power. So if we can have that kind of ingenious, if Innocent Motors decides to start doing ventilators and he can do the standard that is acceptable in the US, in China, in Great Britain, what are we talking about? We'll begin to export ventilators in the nearest future. If somebody starts producing masks, now that we need masks and there is a shortage of masks all over the world, which WHO had said in January, WHO said in January that we are likely to have a shortage, quite soon. If WHO could say that, it was already a forewarning that there was going to be a shortage. Now, if we have that shortage, don't you think our entrepreneurs should begin to look at producing this now?
Anyway, basically, we should embrace everything that has to do with us. I think that's the key point.
That's the story, because what I just said right now is, how do we carry ourselves? How do we see ourselves?
Yes.
How much more have we encouraged entrepreneurs in this country? That's just it. So how much have we encouraged entrepreneurs in this country? That's the point. So if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not encouraged. You just want me to go, you just want me to come for trainings at all. At the end of the training, that's over. So how do I get to the next level? How do I get to the next phase? That's the conversation all about. So the conversation is not because we don't have intelligent guys. The conversation is not because we don't have people that can drive this nation results. The conversations are not just because we have mediocres. We do not have mediocres. That is the point. But the conversation is, how do we see ourselves? How do we push ourselves forward? Do I want you to be successful? Do I have a plain heart towards everything I'm giving to the nation? So that's the question. So I said, I will still say, United States of America do not have a better government than Nigeria. The truth is because the citizens do not want to give up. Now, and that's why they're here where they are. It's not like there's no bureaucracy in US. It's not like they
All of this is
have
not like there's no corruption.
they have
It's not
massive
happening.
corruption. It's
All of
even
these
more
are
than
happening.
Nigeria, because I don't want to just I
But
don't
they're
want
the
to
ones
praise.
that-
I'm not trying to praise Nigeria.
Yes,
I'm not
you're
trying
right
to
about
praise
it.
US. But the truth is, they have citizens that don't want to give up. They have citizens that they are actually
test
inventing.
things like
They want to have impact in the society. That's it.
Americans don't tell bad stories about America. Fantastic idea.
That's true. Even when you watch
But
some
on
of their
social
movies,
media.
let us take it to this level. When you watch their movies, you see that they portray themselves in limelight. But here in Africa, that's when they start telling you stories of some of the difficulties. But I think it's
Brings
high
me to what you
time.
were saying about social media today.
Yeah.
I'd like you to repeat that. You said naturally people just beef each other, or they just like.
That's it.
Yes, they just like to bring people down. You
That's
understand? So I think it's high time that we start seeing ourselves in another grade. Now let's talk about perception. You know, for over the years, not now, like even before we were born, Africa has been turned down. Like this, there have been so much bad perception about Africa. Do you think that all of this can change? Do you think it can change in this world we are in, this earth?
Okay, let me give you this scenario. We are in the best phase of life for Africa. This is the best opportunity we ever have, and if we don't take it, we are gone for it. We are in the fourth industrial revolution.
Yes.
I tell you,
You can
this is
say
the
that
best
again.
opportunity Africa ever have. I will repeat it. Anybody listening to me, this is the best opportunity we ever have. We will ever have. And if we don't take it, we are in for it. It's not going to get better. That's the truth. It's not like I'm trying to sit down here or trying to curse Africa. No, the best opportunity ever. Look at everything that is. This is the best time for us to be on the same level with other continents, because technology is technology. Opportunity is opportunity.
Thank
Are we
you.
taking those opportunity per time? That's the question.
That what you just said actually reminded me of the story of CJ Walker. I was able to actually watch a movie that actually relates to her life. She's an entrepreneur, she's the first black who actually became a millionaire. You understand? Then while looking at her story, and I realized that really when the Bible says the violent take it by force, is actually true, because she violently stood a stand as a black woman, and then try to make people see the best in the black race. Thank you. So I think, according to what you said, that it's actually high time that we actually violently take all of these opportunities and actually bring that good part of us out for all of these people to see and know that no, Africa is
I think I need to ask you this. Overnight,
Yes.
I was talking to one of my colleagues overnight, and he was trying to give me like histories, of Africa, where we are today, comparing to other countries, where at the point we are in the same phase where Nigeria was. Let me use Nigeria as a case study. He was just trying to talk to me about that. But one thing he said is Africa can stand alone without other continents.
Yeah.
The truth is, let me tell you, the big truth is they need us. They need us.
We're
We have the
the-
market.
We have the
We are
resources.
the biggest
We have the
in the
market.
world.
So everybody wants to come. So why will China want to lobby Africans? Why will
Because
US
we
want
have
to
the
lobby
market.
us?
I'm telling you.
So,
have the
so
market.
I think what we need to do is,
Thank God we're not a dumping ground yet.
yeah, we do have the market actually.
Yes.
We do.
Like you said, they need us. That's the truth. Unless we can take decisions on our own to stand on our own.
On our own.
Africans can do. We have 54 countries in Africa.
That means we can do
I
far
tell
better
you,
than the
I tell you,
European
we can
Union.
make a big deal. If we decide to stand on our own, we'll make a real big deal.
And this is calling on our leaders to do just exactly that. Thank you so much, Femi Ojo, for joining
Thank
us
you.
this morning.
Thank
It's been a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, definitely
I'd like to
it
start
was.
out to finish that conversation by calling on government on your behalf again that we have medicine. We had medicine before the advent of this kind of European tablets that we take now.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
had medicine, and our mothers, our old mothers at home, our fathers are still very much aware of how potent that medicine can be. Can our scientists, can our biologists, can our virologists, can those people just go back to the traditional medicine and find out what can be done with it?
Yeah.
We can begin to churn out treatments to the rest of the world. Vaccines can begin to churn out.
With what you just said now.
Medicine,
You know,
syrups.
that's,
With what you just said
where
now, do you
research
know
comes
that
in.
still in Nigeria, a whole lot of people in the villages do not believe there's coronavirus?
Yeah, you know,
So
there was,
because they feel like, oh, when I take this leaf and this other leaf together,
Yeah,
I'm going to
it
be
will
fine.
work.
So,
The most chronic, there's no sickness that they might not have seen before. It has happened close to that before. So they have the regular kind of treatment. You don't see
About
one where they
treatment.
put aside just inside the nose of somebody who is having difficulty, your nose is blocked, your trachea is blocked, you can't breathe. They put aside just in there, trust me, you breathe. But that's not for coronavirus because it doesn't
true.
present. So they have so many things that they practice in the villages, and we must say that they were doing a great job. But if we can modernize these things, if we can dig into it, if we can make the best of it, Nigeria will be better, and soon
Definitely.
we will begin to sell not just hand sanitizers, because I'm sure I'll be disappointed after this saga if we're not exporting hand sanitizers.
we wouldn't. I tell you,
Because
we
we've done a
wouldn't.
whole lot of production.
The many people who are producing sanitizers
Even
now
home.
will suddenly stop
home.
producing
That's
sanitizers
true.
after COVID-19.
That
will be
but I think that
disappointing.
shouldn't.
You know
that
because
should
you know
happen.
why it's going to happen, because we're going to bring policies that's going to run down the job.
Yeah, regulate it.
But we need
You're
to
right
take the
about
break.
it.
Femi, I need to let you go. We need to take a
problem.
break right
No
now.
problem, yeah.
It's still Bumper Breakfast, and of course, we are talking next community report on the Bumper Breakfast Show. We'll be looking at how the lockdown has treated you so far. Join us after this.